knower and the known is completely merged as oneness. And the more we go into the dream state, we start getting the thought, but not anything more than that. Still, the knower is not awake. But when we are getting greedy or in fear, it wakes us because we turn ourselves to the seer. Who is having the greed? Who is that? A little doubt wakes us up into the higher reality. Bhagavan says, the same way, if you understand that whatever you are perceiving, the perception should be changing. Nothing in the reality to change, nothing you need to give up. Give up things which is not there, the perception that you have, which is not the way it exists. When you wake up to the reality, Paramashiva is real. You are reflecting the Paramashiva space consciousness into your brain. Bhagavan says the initiation as a strong nuclear force, when we are ready to understand going beyond the greed and fear and experiencing the gravitational force, and we gravitate the right things and electromagnetic force. Now the string theory is clearly stating how the graviton electron functions and how it brings the quantum happening as frequency, the same thing we understand as materialistic world. There is a frequency and how it exists and how it manifests and how the science of the frequency, how the science of Shakti Bhagavan is describing. So when we go beyond the fear and greed and experience the higher nuclear force, weak nuclear force, the powerful cognition, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, we understand there is something more that we can experience as reality. And then the initiation starts working in us as reality and manifests the higher force of consciousness as the higher powers, that is the space itself, the consciousness itself as our reality, which is much more than the strong nuclear force and which is the consciousness happening as reality. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, death is eaten by him. He who is in the materialistic world, the mind has to die and reborn till the mind get owned out, or drop the mind, unclutch from it and only experience the oneness, then he is eaten by none. He is eternal, and recognizing that he is eternal and letting Paramashiva manifest through him in each of these reality, the greater science, how it can happen as reality. Apta Pramana is one of the greatest story from the Nayanar. Mars are the greatest saints who have manifested all these greater powers. This is from the story of Manakanchara Nayanamar. And he was one of the greatest devotee where he devoted his life for only seeing the Shiva devotees. And one of the Shiva devotee came to his daughter's marriage and asked her for the hair, and simply the father cut the hair of the bride and gave it to the Nayanar. And Shiva himself blesses, for the space they held was extremely just in oneness, surrendering every moment to only the reality. It might seem like cutting a hair and giving, and why Shiva comes, it's such an easy thing. But understand all the reaction that we have. Something happens to us, somebody cheats us, somebody does all the bad things, or somebody does not recognize us and abuses us, and all that, we get so wild and angry. Here the Nayanar, in front of his father, the bride's hair is cut on her marriage day, just before her marriage, and simply the whole family surrenders to the context that whatever happening is auspiciousness, and whenever they see the Shiva devotee, they are ready to see them as Shiva himself. When in such a beautiful context, Shiva appears and blesses them for the context they live as Paramashanti, Paramashiva as their reality. And such a peaceful, restful awareness, nothing touches them. So even when they are in the space of whatever is happening in the outer world, nothing will touch them and they will simply experience the higher reality. Bhagavan Paramashiva beautifully explains in the Atma Pramana how consciousness can become our reality when we align our context to cosmic reality as our reality, integrated to cosmic principle as our reality. Simply we'll have the breakthrough as our cognition shift in our reality.
Specified. Kind of an intense connection I had with Arunagiri Yogeshwara. Even with that connection, it took 9.5 months to fully download the whole thing and to fully start manifesting the whole thing. With this initiation, you can change the size, shape of the organs. Understand? Just this one initiation, if you all master, you can just go on living whatever time you want. Because you just need to alter your organs and rejuvenate and freshen up, that's all. It's like every morning if you just switch the reboot button, press, control, delete and reboot, over. You go on living. You master the time. I know a lot of fundamental principles need to be understood. Unfortunately, humanity has moved so much away from nature. Even basic few things look so complicated and difficult. Sometimes I feel like I am living in a different world and you are all living in a different world. It is not few feet distance, it is few world distance. Because the cognitions I carry, the conclusions I have, listen, the cognitive shift you need to have for this initiation. Listen carefully. I'll repeat once more. Hinduism is not faith-based tradition. It doesn't demand your faith. It is integrity-based tradition. It means, let me explain. Listen carefully. There are some fundamental understandings about the cosmos. You commit to understand that and be in. Some of the cosmic principles. No one owns anything. Only violence is sin. I am not saying you can go and rob. If you rob and that fellow is affected by it, you will incur sin. Because his suffering will create karma for you. But if nobody suffers, there is no suffering at all, you don't get any karma. Understand? You can't say, oh, rob the water of the river. No. In Hindu tradition, even the river is a living energy. So I'm not saying go and rob. All I am trying to tell you is, what is right, what is wrong, you need to know. So you can constantly function based on cosmic principles. Violence is the only sin. Nothing else is a sin. Anywhere pain is created, not otherwise. But if someone blackmails you, oh, don't do that, then I will become painful, that doesn't come as a karma to you. One of my relatives threatened, blackmailed that she will commit suicide if I become a sannyasi. I said, quickly finish it. Let me finish all the last rites and then I'll go. I said, quickly finish. I have only a few more days to go. Let me finish your last rites and then I'll go. She did not commit suicide. She started screaming, how dare you tell that I should die? I did not tell you should die. You only said you will die. Why should I die for your sake? I said, I did die. That is what I wanted. I want you to live long, happily, live happily. I did not tell you to die. You threatened me that you will die. Sannyasi. In India, we have a funny kind of relationships. It is all about the social prestige. And one of my uncle, I should describe the whole thing in Tamil and translate, only then it will be really wonderful. Because It's an incident happened in my life, very important but funny incident. Now we have to, later on I'll describe this incident. The essence I wanted to convey to all of you, understand. Decision come to cosmic conclusions inside you and be integrated to that is what is integrity. Listen carefully. Continuously contemplating what is cosmic principle and searching is what is called seeking. Vyakulata, Pratyagatma Chaitanya Chakrata, individual consciousness waking up and searching. Every moment thinking, what is the cosmic principle I am supposed to follow now in this situation? And going on aligning ourselves to it. Now, the power manifestation, the initiation and power manifestation you are going to have, it is working with people, understand? You are going to be healing others. So the cosmic principle for which you need to be in tune, you need to be integrated. Let me heal the whole universe. Let be ferocious with it. Before entering into initiation, pen down all the incompletions you want to complete, impossibilities you want to break, guilts you want to burn, anything you want to get rid, pen down, even if it is your mother-in-law.
Shiva said how, when you align to cosmic principles again and again, Paramashiva is real. You are more and more experiencing the higher reality. Now, for the power of Ashtama Shakti, you have the Shakshi Pramana and increasing the size of the object. You can draw the size that you have, you can take the length of it, or you can take the breadth of it or the weight of it, but make sure you're measuring it a couple of times so there is no confusion later on. Take a picture of it, and at the end of it you can see the increase and see it beautifully increase in the volume and manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Now let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line and unclutch from everything that we know as our labels and identities and opinions, everything. Bhagavan says, sit as though like you have another next to your room, there's a locker and full of gold, and you are all alone. What would you be thinking all night? And how would you be sleeping? Completely, you will be engrossed thinking about it. Same way, Bhagavan says, get yourself soaked in thinking Paramashiva is real. As Parashakti, with 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50 hands, alive, with all the Aida, and so beautifully alive, and unclutch from everything that you know as yourself. More and more you unclutch, you will understand Paramashiva is real. The reality is Paramashiva again and again happening. Whether we know it or don't know it, Paramashiva again and again when you repeat, simply that manifests as reality. A beautiful story. A father had a son who never went to temple, nothing, but he had a son named Narayana. All the things he would do is with Narayana. And when he died, the Yama came to take his body, his soul, but Narayana Dutas also came and said, you cannot take him. He never lived and believed in God, and he never bothered anything about Paramashiva. But the Vishnu Duta said he had a son. When he is calling his son, he is attaining the higher reality again and again without knowing what he is calling and what he is doing. Just by calling the name again and again, Paramashiva is real. The Paramashiva mantra initiation is more powerful than our electromagnetic or gravitational, our greed or fear, the lower three chakras. When you understand that it is more powerful than who you are, simply you start chanting the Mahavakya inside, that does a phenomenal change of transforming who you are. The mind can never understand these great cognition, nor the theories, nor anything. If the mind can understand, then it has to be lower than the mind. Something more than the mind happens to us. And that is what is power manifestation. True consciousness is real. And Paramashiva is real, manifesting in our brain as consciousness. We are reflecting the same. Now we experiencing not just the body, which is also a matter, but the consciousness, the ultimate quantum experience and quantum frequency, who we are, the transformation in us completely manifest as reality when we decide to unclutch from everything, including our body and mind, and be in space continuously chanting the Mahavakya, and in deep simply surrender and start putting the whole effort in putting you into the conscious space. Mind is a processor. When you sit still and chant the Mahavakya with the deep listening, you will entangle with Bhagavan in the quantum space, manifesting the powers of Ashtama Shaktis. So, leave the object, do not touch the object during the process. Sit straight with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Bring Paramashiva Parashakti to your third eye. Be in the bhava and chant the Mahavakya continuously with a deep listening for manifesting the powers of Ashtama Shakti. Let's start.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our burdens. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. Whatever Paramashiva has shown, please go ahead and verify the size of the object again and again when Paramashiva is manifesting through us. Understanding that the prasada, it can be as experience of Kundalini energy or the heat or the object moving or the materialization, many things happen. Take a picture of whatever Bhagavan is offering you, and Shiva is real. And he is the one who is manifesting everything in our life, even now. Only recognizing that, recognizing how we exist and how Paramashiva is manifesting in each and everything in our life and making it more and more auspiciousness and abundance. Of all the 84 million species and 8 billion people, we are the chosen one to manifest these greater signs. And we are the auspiciousness and abundance which is happening on planet Earth. So make sure all these greater signs, whatever you're experiencing, you're sharing with the world. The more you share, more manifestation happens as reality. Because once you start telling, That is because you are cherishing that. Once we are cherishing something, you will be going on talking about that. Hold the powerful cognition, I am Paramashiva, I am also in this body to experience and celebrate Paramashiva as my reality. And simply you'll see so much of shift happening in your life. This might be a very simple thing, but Bhagavan says the higher cognition works as the much more than the strong nuclear force in your life as reality. Consciousness is my who I am. I am quantum. I am the ultimate frequency as ultimate happening Paramashiva, which is I am happening as Paramashiva and beautifully manifesting as Parashakti. Hold the powerful cognition and sit straight for experiencing one more cycle of Ashtama Shakti. Please make sure you're weighing everything or measuring everything perfectly few times before you start manifesting the powers so that you don't have any self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred. Just manifesting the powers make you understand it's real and we are not required for our life. All we need to do is surrender our identity again and again. Whatever we don't have, we drop that. All the labels, all the knowledge, all the identities that we carry. Simply, we will know that we are Paramashiva and Paramashiva is real. So start chanting the Mahavakya few more minutes for the next cycle. Measure the object again or take up a new object. It can be Atmalinga, it can be a deity, it can be anything that you are so connected to. Keep that object and start increasing the size of the object just by connecting to Paramashiva, entangling with him, chanting the Mahavakya with him. Let's start the second cycle of Ashtama Shakti.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest. Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. Whatever you have received, please share in tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. All these greater signs that Bhagavan is revealing, when you share and cause the world, when you heal the world, you get healed in all the dimension. And more you start manifesting powers, more you get grounded on manifesting powers. Like how you have icing on the cake. The power manifestation, it only fills in when you start enriching and causing the world. And more, when you start causing the world, you will understand how many people are just in waiting to listen and see what you're manifesting every single day. Such a beautiful experience, all these great sciences. When you share with the world, you know how many of them are really blessed, because all this comes from the Paramashiva is real context. So when they are reading your post or you're reading and sharing somebody's post, you're also in that same state. Paramashiva, you can see the dollar sign, you can offer and contribute to Kailasha. All the greater gift that Bhagavan is offering continuously, untiringly, and not even we can comprehend of even anything that we donate, but all this donation builds the Kailasha inside us. If you want to live in such a restful awareness, peaceful space, go ahead and experience that oneness by contributing to others' life and sharing and causing others' life into Paramashiva is real. Thanking all of you, thanking Bhagavan for manifesting all these powers. Let's surrender all these powers and powerful cognition at Bhagavan's lotus feet and deep word, thought, and action, and seeing everybody as Paramashiva, as my reality, holding a powerful cognition, ending the session with a Purnama. Om पूर्णमदस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम तत्सत् सर्वं भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवं पादुकार्पणमस्तु। ओम नित्यानंदम्। Thank you so much. See you at 6 p.m. in the Zoom session. You can log in through eKailasha. See you in the next